Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be reading the story of Mary Poppins from the Walt Disney Classic Storybook. So, let's get started. Mary Poppins. Here, wait, let me pop this down. Yeah. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Zane and Michael stood together as they marched along. Mary Poppins stopped to speak to Andrew, their neighbor's dog. Yep, yap, yap, Andrew barked. Yes, of course, Mary Poppins told the dog. I'll go straight away, and thank you very much. Yap, the little dog barked. Then, taking Zane and Michael by the hand, Mary Poppins walked in a different direction. What did he say? Asked Jane. That there's been a change of plans, said Mary Poppins. Come along, please. Don't straggle. Quickly, she led them along narrow, twisting streets. So that's a picture of Mary Poppins talking to the dog, and Mary Poppins leading them along the narrow, twisting streets. Sounds interesting. After they had walked for a while, Mary Poppins stopped at a small house. Rap, rap. Mary Poppins knocked on the door with her umbrella. Her friend Bert opened the door. How is he? Mary Poppins asked. Bert shook his head. I've never seen him as bad as this, he said, and that's the truth. Mary Poppins, Jane, and Michael followed Bert inside. In the center of the room stood a table set for tea. Jane and Michael looked around, but did not see anyone there. Uncle Albert, you promised to not go floating around again, said Mary Poppins, looking up towards the ceiling. So that's Mary Poppins entering Bert's house. Michael's giggles grew louder. Then Jane began to laugh too. They couldn't stop. Their feet left the floor and they rose into the air until their heads bumped into the ceiling. I must say you're a sight, the lot of you, Mary Poppins, said Miss Mary Poppins disapprovingly. Her arms folded. Speaking of sight, said Bert, that reminds me of my brother. He's got a nice cushy job in a watch factory. In a watch factory, asked Uncle Albert? What does he do? He stands about all day and makes faces, said Bert. The four of them laughed so hard that they turned somersaults in the air. I found a horseshoe today, said Bert, holding his sides. You know what that means? I certainly do, said Albert. It means that some poor horse is walking around with his stocking feet. Now then, Zane, Michael, it's time to go, said Mary Poppins firmly from below. Oh, please, stay, begged Uncle Albert. He whiffed at the table on the floor. I've a splendid tea waiting for us, if he could, manage the table or two. Just then, the table began to move. It rose into the air, cups, biscuit, teapot, and all. Oh, splendid! Thank you, my dear, said Uncle Albert. Next thing, I suppose you'll be wanting me to pour, said Mary Poppins with a sigh. She floated up to join them. The others laughed, bobbing around the table as Mary Poppins poured the tea and passed around the biscuits. I'm having such a good time, said Uncle Albert. I wish we could all stay up here with me always. Well, jolly well, said with a grin. There's always a way to get down. Okay, stop. Well, to be honest, there is a way, said Uncle Albert. Just think of something sad and down you'll go. Time to go home, Mary Poppins said firmly, her voice cutting sharply through the laughter. Jane and Mabel became so sad at the thought of leaving that they suddenly fell through the air, followed by Uncle Albert and Bert. Bump, bump, bump. They all landed on the floor. Goodbye, said Michael. We'll be back soon. And thank you, said Jane. We'd have a lovely time. Jane and Michael followed Mary Poppins out the door. Uncle Albert waved goodbye. It makes me so sad to see them leave, he said to Bert sadly. Back home, Zane and Michael tried to tell their father about their adventure. He just didn't seem to understand. Mary Poppins just said, children will be children, and led them towards the nursery. Michael and Zane started getting ready for bed. It's a supercalifragilistic day, Zane said to her brother. Michael nodded. It certainly had been. So that was the story of Mary Poppins in the storybook. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and bye!